Now that Season 2 has been out for a little while now, we now know exactly what the strongest heroes are, with win rates of over 50%, pick rates of over 30%, and even high ban rates. I'm going to go through and highlight the interesting characters that I've found, and maybe give some insight to why these characters are a certain way. Now all of this information is completely public over at Rivals Tracker, so make sure to check it out, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're going for 100,000 subscribers, so might as well join in. But anyways, let's get started. Now, just a quick little rundown of how this video is actually going to work. I'm going to start by examining some of the most frequently picked characters, specifically in the Grandmaster rank, to establish a clear picture of what's currently dominating the meta. And it's important to note that when a character has an exceptionally high pick rate, typically above 25 to 30%, their win rate often takes a hit. This is because such characters are played by a wide range of players, including those who may not be particularly skilled with them. As a result, their overall win rate can drop due to the sheer volume, even if the character is objectively strong. Now, we've seen this pattern time and time again in different games and in Marvel Rivals itself. Take triple support meta, for example. When Cloak and Dagger were considered the best characters due to their stacked ultimates, despite being the most picked duo in the entire game, they only had about a 48% win rate. That illustrates how pick rate and win rate don't always align. A character can be extremely powerful in the meta, yet they still show a mediocre win rate due to the widespread, sometimes suboptimal usage. Now, we can't talk about this Season 2 meta without talking about Rocket Raccoon. So he is going to be our first character. Rocket Raccoon is in a truly unprecedented spot in the current meta. When we talk about characters who are warping the game around themselves so influentially that even high pick rates can't fully capture their impact, Rocket is the primary example. Right now, he holds an astonishing 62.07% pick rate in Grandmaster, which is absolutely off the charts. To put that in perspective, even during the most dominant eras of heroes like Doctor Strange or Cloak and Dagger duo, we never saw pick rates breach this level. Strange topped out around 50% in Cloak and Dagger, the close still fell short of 62. Rocket isn't just popular, he's omnipresent. Now, what I find interesting is that characters with pick rates this high almost always see their win rates nosedive due to sheer exposure. They are played by everyone from pros to players just hopping on the hype train, which normally leads to inconsistencies in performance. But Rocket somehow avoids and defies that trend. Despite being the most picked carry in the game, he's still sitting at a 52.42% win rate in Grandmaster. That's not just solid, it's a strong indicator that he's still undervalued even with this absurd high pick rate. Now, to really put that nail in the coffin, Rocket's pick rate jumped up by 30%, yet his win rate only dropped around 1%. That level of pick rate to performance stability is almost unheard of and shows just how overpowered he is right now. Now, there are several reasons behind Rocket's dominance. The first one, and it's rather apparent, is his ultimate is actually a game changer now. While it can be destroyed, skilled players are getting better at positioning it in hard to reach places. Even if the enemy manages to take it down, the disruption it causes often guarantees a one fight or at least a major momentum swing. Following that, he builds his ultimate extremely fast, which means he gets to use his tempo defying ability rather frequently. His healing burst is also insane now by shooting at allies' feet and leveraging the bounce for a 110 health burst. Rocket can pump out incredible sustain for his team in tight windows. He also has his BRB revive, which I've been saying for the longest time is one of the best abilities in the entire game because it literally brings a teammate back every 45 seconds. And in a game where first picks matter, this can literally be a game-changing ability. Now, his power isn't even tied to specific synergies anymore. While he used to lean on characters like Winter Soldier or Punisher, he's now thriving as a standalone pick, which makes him flexible in almost any comp. And despite everything that's thrown his way, his ban rate is only 1.36%. That's practically nothing for a character this impactful. Rocket isn't just strong, he's meta-defining, meta-breaking, and easily one of the most warped balanced outliers we've seen in Marvel Rivals so far. What do you think about Rocket? Let me know in the comments down below. While Rocket may be the flash example of meta dominance right now, Emma Frost is right behind him, and arguably just as thrilling for entirely different reasons. Sitting at a 45.43% pick rate in Grandmaster and maintaining an impressive 51.33% win rate, Emma is clearly one of the most dominant forces in the game at the moment. What makes her numbers even more telling is her ban rate, a steep 9.73% compared to Rocket's relative time of 1.36%. That alone speaks volumes about how much respect she commands in draft. Emma Frost doesn't just perform well, she actively prevents the enemy from playing the game they want. And that's really where her power lies. She's a hard counter to dive comps, mobility-reliant heroes, and many of the fast-paced scrimmage styles that are popular right now. If you're trying to run a dive-heavy lineup and Emma makes it through the draft, you've probably already at a disadvantage. Her ability to shut down the entire playstyle makes her one of the most oppressive forces in high-level play, and banning her is often more of a strategic necessity than a luxury. What's particularly wild is that she's achieving all this with pick and win rates reminiscent of Doctor Strange at his absolute peak. Of all the post-launch heroes, Emma is without question the most powerful on release, while Invisible Woman is still a solid pick and has her niche. Emma Frost is in a different league. She's the most impactful new hero the game has seen, hands down. Now, I don't think it would be fair talking about a meta-analysis video if I didn't mention some of the top banned heroes. The first one, and the most banned hero in all of Marvel Rivals across all ranks, is actually Groot. Now, despite actually having a negative win rate of 49.64% and only having a pick rate of 10.24%, his ban rate is almost similar to that of his win rate. His ban rate is 41.84%, which is actually crazy. And again, his win rate is only 49.64%. So out of the odd chances you do pick him, most of the time players are losing with him anyways. So I just find that rather interesting. Now, although he did get some slight nerfs with the recent balance patches, that really doesn't change the fact that he's pretty much a permaban in all of your lobbies. Now, I wouldn't say Groot is a must-pick hero. I wouldn't say he's a must-ban. I think he's an okay character. For the most part, if they're playing Groot, you can play Wolverine because Wolverine isn't getting banned right now. But more than anything, I just find it interesting. Maybe because if it's his game-changing ultimate, maybe it's because the walls, no one knows how to shoot walls, or maybe it's because of the amount of damage he can actually do. The question is up in the air, so let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Now, the next hero we're going to be talking about is Hulk. Now, Hulk received some major buffs in Season 2, and he's been getting picked a whole lot more now. But with all that being said, he still does have a 34.0% ban rate, mainly due to the fact that if you ban out Hulk, essentially you don't have to worry about no more. But even with having a 34% ban rate, he still has a 52.87 win rate, which is actually shocking when you have characters like Emma Frost, Captain America, or other Magneto trying to shut him down. Now, I don't think we can talk about a Season 2 meta video without talking about Johnny, otherwise known as the Human Torch. Now, the Human Torch only possesses a 50.55% win rate, which is, a kind of a coin toss when you have a Human Torch on your team. And he only has a 21.25% ban rate. This character got some major changes in Season 2, and again, it's kind of like a coin flip if the Human Torch on your team is going to be amazing or not. He can do a ton of damage, have a ton of kill potential, especially in the right hands. But I will say, in the wrong hands, you might end up losing your match because you let your teammate play the Human Torch when the other team has a Human Torch one trick. Sometimes it's a double-edged sword that can result in various ways. Then the last hero I want to talk about is Spider-Man. He only has a 47.97 win rate, which is a negative win rate, and he actually has a 28% ban rate, which is kind of insane. With Dive being so prominent this season, I'm actually surprised I'm seeing Spider-Man because you have heroes like Emma Frost no more, so I'm surprised people are still picking Spider-Man even though they're kind of losing the match. I'm telling you, the mental fortitude of Spider-Man and Jeff players are something else. Then I just want to quickly go down the list of some of the most picked heroes despite their win rates. So the most picked hero currently in all Season 2 across all ranks is Cloak and Dagger, with a 48.08% pick rate, which is pretty much insane. Following directly behind that, we have Raccoon sitting at 42.78, Emma Frost at 38.55, Invisible Woman at a 34.57, even though she did get nerfed. We have Loki sitting at 23.72%, Luna Snow still sitting at 22.03%, and Magneto at 18.63. Now, this list can go on and on, but you can kind of see what the trend is of the current meta. Kind of going off of what the most banned heroes are, you can kind of see the meta coming out of it. You see Groot getting banned, you see Hulk getting banned. Those are your two main vanguards that are very solid this season. And you have Emma Frost. Those are your three vanguards that can do a lot of damage this season. Following that, you see Spider-Man getting banned a lot. You see Iron Fist getting banned a lot. you know it's going to be some type of dive as those characters are getting banned. The Human Torch is kind of a curveball because he's super strong, so it's a good pick. Then you have Namor, an anti-dive character who can still do a ton of damage. Following that, you still have Hela getting picked. She is amazing at countering the Human Torch, so it's pretty obvious to why he's getting picked. But believe it or not, Wolverine is still getting banned a lot, but he still is the tank killer, tank shredder, so he's still a great pick. But anyways, that was the video for today. Hopefully you found this video entertaining or helpful in any way, shape, or form. Maybe you just like the content in general. If so, make sure to hit that like button. Greatly helps out the video and really helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We're pushing for 20,000 subscribers before my birthday. But regardless, I hope you have a great and safe day, and I'll catch you in the next one.